I'm James.
I'm Jessica.
And this is River, and welcome to our van build. Hello everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Dream, our 2009 Citroen Relay. Come with me and I'll show you the interior and exterior of our van. This is Dream, and it's a 2009 Citroen Relay. It's the L4H2 model, which means it's 6 meters long and 2.5 meters wide, and also 2.5 meters tall. But with the added extras on the roof, we come in just under 3 meters. So everyone that's building a van will know that it's so hard to find space for things inside the van, and the more things you put inside the van, the less space you have for storage. So because this is an L4 model and it's 6.5 meters, we decided that it was the best option to put as much as we can underneath. So what we've done is we've put a 40-litre gas LPG tank underneath, and it's a really convenient way of filling it just here. So we can just pull up to any gas station with LPG and we can fill up from this little thing here. And we've got adapters as well, so that makes it a lot easier when we're in Europe. We also installed a 100-litre freshwater tank underneath and a 60-litre wastewater tank underneath, which is good because it obviously gives us more space inside to put more things, more storage. Usually for Jessica, but hey ho. We have a water inlet point here, so this is really easy because we can just pull up to just a tap, attach a hose, and then we can just fill up through here. We also have an outdoor shower, which is really good when we want to hose our feet down outside after a muddy walk, or wash the dog off. We can just open this pulls out, and we have hot and cold water on tap. Follow me up and I'll show you what's on the roof. So on the roof we've installed two 370 watt solar panels, I believe. We also installed a max air fan, and that's really good because it keeps the air circulation inside, and it helps to lower the condensation. We've also got up here, we've got a MiFi aerial, which is this little black thing over here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is really good because it extends our range of our Wi-Fi router that we have in the van. And we also installed a TV aerial. We had a bigger one, but unfortunately that broke, so I ordered this little thing off Amazon, and honestly it's amazing. The good thing about this van is that we made it so we can be completely off-grid for up to a week. But we also included the option of being on a campsite and being able to plug in when we're on a campsite. So we installed a 240 volt mains hookup just here. We also installed a 460 amp hour lithium battery. Really expensive, but it was definitely worth the money. We had to make sure when we were installing the toilet that we weren't bringing the cassette through the van. So we installed this little access point, and then we open that up and we can get to the toilet there. So that's our cassette toilet. It's a Thetford 406, I think, 406C cassette toilet, and it's a bench style toilet, but it's got about 15 litres of waste holding capacity, so that's really helpful when we're off grid for 4 or 5 days. So a very important thing when you're off grid and you're camping in the middle of nowhere is security. So because we were a little bit worried about the security in Europe, we installed 4 outdoor cameras. So we've got 4 outdoor security cameras. One on the front, one on the back, and one on each side. As well as that, we installed safety locks inside the front main doors. So if you come with me, so we've also got safety lock points here. As well as the cameras on the van and the locks, we've also installed a deadlock on the back of the van. So this is just a normal, kind of your average workman van locks. But it's a really cheap and efficient way. You can obviously get you know, deadlocks that are specifically made for these vans, and you can get them installed, but they're very expensive, and we thought this was the cheapest and best option for us. As these lights are just normal halogen lights, they're not the best at night time. So on top of that, we installed this light bar. I'm not sure what wattage it is, but it's really bright once we get it going at night. And to top it off, I just put this little bumper bar on. Hides the number plate a little bit, but it does the job. It's really good, and we've not been stopped as of yet for our number plate being a little bit hidden. When we first started building the van, we were aiming to get it converted to a motor caravan with DVLA. The requirements on there are challenging, and a lot of you that are watching the video might already know, or might have already tried to go through the process, that it's nearly impossible to get it converted to a motor caravan, even if you follow all of the checklists like we did. One of the things on the checklist was an awning, so we fitted this awning rail up here. I don't know if you can see it, and we've got a sun canopy like awning, and it's a drive away, so you just slide it on. It's got 2 poles, and then we can sit out here and we can light a fire, all that kind of stuff. This is our bit of storage that's under the bed. A lot of people use it for different things. Sometimes people put bikes under there, sometimes people put space for dogs under there. We kind of used it for storage, and we used it to store all of our bits and bobs that we aren't going to use in the van. So things like our fire pit, our outdoor camper stove. We've got an area for boots. We've got, again, more storage for clothes. My Jessica's box and my box. We've also got bits and more storage, clothes storage. Jessica's got 70% of this storage in the van for her clothes. So the front cab then, we didn't really do much more to it. There wasn't much we could do to it, but we just added a few extra features. So I've installed some lights, some reading lights that are just up here for when it's dark, so we can see paperwork and whatnot when we're driving. And I got a little idea from my friend called Danny. He installed some starlights in his VW Transporter, and I thought it was a really good idea. So after, it was about 4 hours work of individually piercing the holes in the headliner, individually feeding through fibre optic light cables, we got to this. This came with a standard single DIN radio, so I installed a double DIN radio. I've got the indicator on there. It's a little Pioneer radio. It's not the best thing in the world, but it does the job. Underneath this seat, we actually have a DC to DC battery charger. That means that when we're driving, we can charge the lithium battery. At the moment, when we're off grid, we usually stay in places for about 4 days. That will run the battery down, and then we'll drive for about 3 hours, and that will pick the battery back up, enough to stay another couple of days off grid. We also installed some swivel chairs, so they're pretty easy to swivel around. You just got to pull them forward a little bit, and then they swivel around. And this opens up this really opens up the area into the back. So let's go inside the van. A few little features we put in a little dog gate. This is so we can have the door open and River won't run away. She doesn't anyway, she's a really good dog. She just stays where we are. As long as she's sunbathing, she's happy. Coming inside the van then, we've got our 3-hob gas burner. So this runs off gas, so it means that when we're out of electric, we can still cook some food. Now, Jessica will probably say this is the best part of the van, but just down here we've got the Thatcher duplex oven. This also runs off gas, and it's a really convenient way of cooking when we're off grid. It means we can cook pizzas and pies and all that kind of stuff that you can't cook on a normal hob. We've also got a lot of storage in the van, which is really good. So we've installed some storage boxes or compartments all over the place. We've got one above the driver's compartment, we've got one here, and then we've got 2 more over here. This is mainly cleaning products for the kitchen, my clothes and Jessica's clothes. We've also got some storage space under here, which is really good. There's a lot of storage space. That's just for like our bags and bits and bobs. So we've got a Fiamma table bracket and a Fiamma table socket. So we just bought this tabletop off Amazon, and it's really good because this just pops off, and then we've got a thing that goes in there like that, and then our table just sits on top of that. We're traveling with our little Italian greyhound, River. She's a 2-year-old female Italian greyhound, and obviously when traveling with a dog, you have to make some part of the van the dog's area. This is River's area, so she's got a water bowl, she's got her name on her hooks, and that's where we put all her bits and bobs. She also has a bit of a space in the cupboard up there because she's an Italian greyhound, she's got no fur, so she has coats, she has a ski jacket. Honestly, her wardrobe is bigger than mine, I think. Moving back then, we've got a little TV there for when we're sat in the front. We've got the seats turned around. This is what's connected up to the TV aerial. So when we're in different countries, we can just search for their local channels and we can watch it on here with a sound bar. Moving further back then, we have the shower and toilet. Now, when building the van, the two big things that we wanted was a shower and toilet and a permanent bed. We'll get onto that later. This is just the like I said, the Thetford bench toilet, and it's a complete wet room, so everything in there is waterproof. IKEA was definitely our best friend when we were building this van. This is a complete IKEA kitchen unit. Because we had a normal kitchen unit, it meant that we could install a really big sink. So this is another part of the van that Jessica really likes. She does all the washing up, she doesn't let me, although I do offer. This also gives us lots of storage underneath, so we've got some storage under there, pots and pans, another cupboard, and we also have, this was something I had to convince Jessica on when buying the kitchen unit, a slide out pantry. We've got all our spices, and obviously you can't see that, that's all our alcohol. We've also got two little drawers under here for our electrical items, obviously bits and bobs, cutlery, and this is a bit of a faff sometimes to try and get it in, but we just push it in and hide it. And then underneath we've got a bigger one just for our pots and pans. We've also got Wi-Fi in the van. That's really good. It runs off the Wi-Fi aerial that we've got on the roof. It's been hard to find a Wi-Fi that we can use when we're abroad, but we found a Pop-It Mobile, which is a really good mobile internet provider. It's a UK provider. They have no restrictions on bandwidth or on how many gigabytes you can use. There's no fair usage policy. If you buy 100 gigabytes a month data on a SIM card, you can use 100 gigabytes wherever you are in the EU, in Europe, which is a massive bonus because a lot of providers only give you 25 gigabytes. So we turn this on when maybe we're watching TV, or I need to do some bits on the laptop, or even if I'm on my Xbox. We've also got this little bit over here, so this is our hanging storage underneath. And we've got his and hers compartments. So Jessica's is up top, mine's down here, and this is where we store like our underwear and our personal care products and all that kind of stuff. Coming up here then, so heating in the van. The heating is a Chinese diesel heater. It's actually the third diesel heater that we've been through. Unfortunately, we installed the first one, it lasted for about a year. The second one was broken from the start, and this is now the third one. They're really cheap, and yes, they can be unreliable, but this one has been absolutely amazing since we put it in. I mentioned earlier that we've got a 460 amp hour battery, lithium battery. That was from Roma, and this is where we control everything to do with the battery. So we've got our inverter here, which we can turn on and off, and that's for our 240 plug sockets like this down here. And we've also got our solar charge controller here, so we can see everything that's going on with the solar panels right from in here. And then on the top, that's our mains plug-in power, so that only comes on when we're plugged into mains power on a campsite. Of course, you need somewhere to store all your food. Right down here, we've got our DC50 fridge. It's a copy, I think, of the Dometic 50-litre fridge, and it's where we keep all of our food. It's a bit bare at the moment because we haven't done a shop, but we're going to be doing one tomorrow hopefully. And finally, we have our bed. So it's a double bed, full double bed, 135 centimeters width, and it's a little bit shorter than normal. I think it's 180 centimeters in length, which means we had to buy a custom mattress because all the mattresses, they either come in 190 centimeters long or 200 centimeters long, and we thought we're not going to buy a mattress and start cutting it down. We'll just buy a custom mattress. I think it was from custommattresses.com or something like that, and it's really good because it's memory foam as well, so it's really comfy. We've got a projector up here so we can watch TV, and then we have a little blinds that we just roll down, and that's our projector screen. I hope you've enjoyed looking around the interior and exterior of our van, and I hope that I've helped kind of shed some light on some information that you may or may not be looking for. We've been living in our van now since October last year. We gave up our jobs and we moved into the van full time, and we started traveling in Europe in January this year. If you're looking, or if you're wondering whether you should or should not build a van and go traveling, I say, and I think Jessica will agree with me on this one, 100% do it. It's been the best time of our lives so far. It's been absolutely unreal. We've been up through Sweden, Norway, Germany, we've done the Netherlands, and it's been very, very cold, and we're currently in Poland now. As you can see, the sun's out, so we are now going to go sun chasing, and we're going to head towards the hotter countries in, you know, Turkey, Bulgaria, because having the sun when living in a van is very important because it helps boost your mood. So we're definitely looking forward to the sun now after doing 2 months in the snow. Don't forget to like, if you like this video, give it a like, and subscribe if you want to follow us and see more content. Obviously, don't forget to give us a follow on our Instagram and TikTok. You'll see throughout the video. We post videos and stories on Instagram daily, and it's a really good insight to how we're living in the van. So if you want to see more, give us a like on there. Obviously, give us a comment down below if you have any recommendations of any videos that you think we should make. This is our first video on YouTube, so we're kind of new to this, but we're looking forward to making more if this works out well.